Hello everybody. Now I will be talking about one more important concept, that is polymorphism concept. This is also one of the important concept of OOFs. The polymorphism, the name indicates what? Poly means many, morphism means form, one name with many form. This concept gives you the wonderful opportunity for the programmer to write same name for different purposes with different parameters. So this concept gives you a wide variety of different representation and how to call them and how to utilize them. So try to know that there are two types of polymorphism. One is compile time polymorphism, second is runtime polymorphism. This compile time polymorphism is also known as static polymorphism. And this runtime polymorphism is known as dynamic polymorphism. So the Java supports two types of polymorphism, static and dynamic. So static polymorphism is also called compile time polymorphism. Dynamic polymorphism is also known as runtime polymorphism. So during compilation time, it will be knowing which code will execute and which code is bound to which address. That's why it is called compile time. During compilation time, every code is linked to a particular address. Whereas in dynamic polymorphism, you will not be knowing which code will come to this code. So the code will bound to which address, that will be known during runtime. So the address binding will be done during runtime. The address binding will be done during compilation time here. Now, overloading comes under the concept of static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism, whereas overriding comes under your runtime polymorphism. Again, under overloading, two things are there. One is function overloading, and operator overloading. These two comes under your overloading concept. Remember, these function overloading and operator overloading are the two important concepts of Java. So these two comes under your static polymorphism. Similarly, overriding, this is implemented through function overriding. So now we will be discussing about these topics: function overloading, operator overloading, as well as function overriding. How Java uses this concept in the OOFs. The word polymorphism is derived from the Greek word, means having multiple form. Same name with multiple form. So from the name itself you can guess, poly means many, morphism means form. So polymorphism is considered as one of the important features of object-oriented programming language. Polymorphism allows us to perform single action in different ways. Same action but different ways. In other words, polymorphism allows you to define one interface, have multiple implementation. Interface one but implementation in multiple form. So the word poly means many, morphs means forms. So it means many form. One name with many actions. So whenever such concept is available in any language, then that language will become more powerful. So one of the important features of OOFs is polymorphism features. In Java, polymorphism mainly derived in two ways: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So Java supports both type of polymorphism, compile time as well as runtime. Under compile time polymorphism, this compile time is also known as static polymorphism. This type of polymorphism is achieved by function overloading or operator overloading. So with the help of the operator overloading or function overloading, you can implement the static polymorphism. Remember, but Java does not support the customized operator overloading. That means system enabled operator overloading is there. Whereas you cannot write your own customized operator overloading. So Java is not giving such flexible. Whereas other languages like C++, it permits to overload your operator, whereas Java is not supporting directly. So these are all system supported. Whatever the system gives you, those operators you can use for overloading. System supported operator overloading is available. Operator overloading available. Okay. Similarly, there is another concept called method overloading. When there are multiple functions with same name with different parameters, then the functions are said to be overloaded. Same function name but different parameters. Function name is same but parameters are different. Then that is known as your function overloading. This function overloading is also known as method overloading. Both are same. Function overloading and operator overloading both are, function overloading and method overloading both are same. Functions can be overloaded by changing the number of argument or change in the type of argument. Function overloading you can implement by passing different set of parameters or different types of parameters. Either number of parameters change or types of parameter also change. That comes under your function overloading. For example, I will give a small example here. There is a function called add. Int comma int. Now this function is adding how many numbers? 2 numbers. Again I will write one more function, add int comma int comma int. So this, in the first one I am having 2 parameters. In the second one I am having 3 parameters. But function name is add only. So when I say add, you can add 2 number or you can add 3 number. So the language permits you to write 2 times. With first time 2 parameters, second time 3 parameters. So this concept comes under function overloading. This is a simple example of function overloading. Similarly, of course, you may ask add double comma double also. That means here you are passing 2 double. Here you are passing 2 integer. So this is also one type of function overloading. Parameters are different types. Here counts are different. So in function overloading, either you can differ by parameters or you can differ by data types. Next, how polymorphisms are implemented in Java. First one is overloading. Overloading comes under your static polymorphism. You will have a class called test. For example, a class called test. This is a class name. This diagram is called what? Class diagram. So the name of the class is test class and having 3 methods. Function with integer parameter, again function with int a comma b, and one more function with char a. Same function name is fun only. But first time you are passing single argument with integer type. Second time you are passing int with int, 2 parameters. Third time you are passing function with single parameter but type is character. So name is fun only but parameters are different. So whenever you are writing such type of program, then that is known as function overloading. What overloading? Function overloading. This function overloading comes under static polymorphism. So this static polymorphism comes under your compile time polymorphism, or this is also known as early binding. That means during compilation time it will bind to a particular address. Every function will bound to a particular address. So the overloading concept comes under early bound, where this comes overriding, which is dynamic. This comes under late binding. Late binding, because during runtime it will decide where this particular address will be bound to which address. Every function has to bound to a particular address. That will be known during runtime. So that means it is very late, where this is very early. That's why early bound, this is late bound. Right. So this is your base class. The base class having a method called function with int a. Similarly in the derived class, there is also function with int. See, in function overriding, you are having same function in parent as well as in child, but parameters are different. Here one integer with single parameter, here also integer with single parameter, but here it will be differ by your logic. Whatever the logic you are going to write, there you may be writing some logic with some 4 lines, here you may write logic with some 10 lines. So the number of statement may change, your logic may change in function overriding. In parent you may be writing in a simple way, whereas in child you may be writing in a complicated way. but function names are same, parameters are same, but logics are different. So this comes under your overriding. This overriding comes under your dynamic polymorphism. So Java supports both type of polymorphism. Now a simple example of method overloading. See, multiply int a comma b, it returns what? A and b. Again there is one more method, multiply double with double. Here we are passing integer, here passing double. Function name is multiply, here also multiply. Parameters, function names are same but parameters are different. Here two are integers, whereas here two are double. So here what you are returning? A and b, but this A and b are what? Integer type. When you come to second one, here also you are returning A and b, but A and b are double type. So when the function names are same but parameters are different, this comes under your method overloading. Overloading. Now you can create an object of this and call. Here while calling you are passing 2, 4. So when you are calling 2, 4, 2 is what? Integer. 4 also integer. So it goes to the first one. Whereas when you are calling 5.5 and 6.3, then it goes to, because 5.5 means double, it goes to second method. So you are able to call this method with different parameters. So my function overloading helps you to write in two different ways. So the logic may be also different also, but function name can be same. Similarly, the final method you can stop to overriding. Sometimes you can say that my method should not be overridden by others. So if you want to stop overriding, then you can use a keyword called final before the method name. Now here what is the name of the method? Final method. Here you can write your logic. This is my parent class and I am having a child class called child which extends parent. Here I am having a method called final method. Here also final method. So parent having a method called final method. Child having a method called final method. But whenever you are trying to override, then the system says no, you cannot override. So you will get a compile time error. If you are trying to execute this type of program, you will get a compile time error. So whenever you want to stop overriding, then use a class called, a keyword called final. Once you use final keyword, then it will not allow you to override. So that is the advantage of final keyword to stop overriding. So as the parent class final method was overridden by the child class final method, it is not possible in Java programming language. Then there are some advantages as well as disadvantages. Polymorphism in Java is a concept allows object of different classes to be treated as an object of a common class. It enables us to behave differently based upon specific type. So in this concept, it will allow you to write same thing with different forms. One name with many forms is your polymorphism. So what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? You will see. First we will see advantage point. It increases the code reusability by allowing object of different classes to be treated as object of a common class. So automatically it increases the code reusability. Second, it improves the readability. So same name I will read, but my task will be different. So it improves the readability and maintainability by reducing amount of code needs to be written and maintained. So you need not worry what name I should give. I can give same name, but I may do different tasks. For example, I said addition. My task is addition, but I am adding 2 number or adding 3 number. So name should be add only. So I should not have a confusion add 2, add 3 or add 4. I will write add only, but parameters may be same or parameter may be different. Supports dynamic binding also. It supports dynamic binding. It enables the correct method to be called at runtime based upon the actual class of the object. So my main advantage of polymorphism is what? During runtime I will decide where or which code will be executed. So you have to call the respective method, either parent's method or child's method. It enables the object to treat as a single type, making it easier to write the generic code that can handle object of different type. It can handle object of different type also. So dynamically it will decide which object will activate. Then what is the disadvantage? Of course, for everything there are advantage as well as disadvantage also. It can make it more difficult to understand the behavior of object, especially if the code is more complex. Of course, if the code is more complex, then it is little bit difficult for the new programmer, not for the experienced one, for the new programmers. Similarly, this may lead to performance issue as polymorphic behavior may require additional computational time. It may require internally some extra time also to identify the location. So, these are the two important disadvantages in polymorphism. So, try to know both advantage as well as disadvantage. Now see, in method overriding, you can achieve the runtime polymorphism via method overriding. Method overriding is done when child or base class method has the same name, parameters and return type. So, if you want to implement method overriding, then you must have a parent as well as you must have a child. In parent, whatever the method is there, in child should be also same method, same parameter. So, function name same, parameter same, but logic may be different. But both are available in parent as well as child. Then only function overriding is implemented. What are the rules for overriding? The overriding is the method must have the same name in the parent as well as child class. If the method name is F here also should be F only. The method must have the same parameter in the parent class. Here if the parameter is P, here also parameter should be P only. So in parent as well as child, in both the place, parameter must be same. Similarly, there is a easier relationship. That means this is parent, this is the child. So C and P must be have a relation called is A. That means what? For example, there is a class called person and class called employee. That means person is parent, employee is child. Now what type of relationship exists between person and employee? The relationship is EJ. That means employee is a person, meaning employee is a person. So this type of relationship exists whenever you are overriding the means implementing the method overriding. So if easier relationship exists, then only you can implement overriding. Now assume there is a class called vehicle and there is a method called run. In run class what I am writing, vehicle is running. And I wrote one more class called bike. So vehicle is what? My parent class. In vehicle class, I am having a method called run method. So in the run method, I wrote my logic. What I wrote? Vehicle is running. Vehicle is running. Similarly, there is a class called bike. In the bike class also, because of inheritance, this method will be available. Which method? The run method. Now, because of inheritance, I can extend my parents' property. I can get the parents' property. Now see, I am creating an object of bike and I am calling obj.run. Is it overriding? No, simply I am using. It is not overriding. Simply call. If at all I write here void run. Now here I will write here system.out.println hello bike running, hello bike. That means I can call this method now. Now when I say obj.run, automatically this method will come. So earlier vehicle is running, now I will say bike is running. So this type of things you can write with method overriding. Okay, thank you. Of course, in future days we will be implementing some more programs also.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.